Hey, everyone. Welcome to today's live. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so excited that you're watching. I'm also extremely excited that I have a special guest today because if you can't hear, I decided to kind of, pre-record, get ahead for 2025 a little bit with my podcast. I might have overdone it just a little bit. But I'm very excited today because automation is a topic that we are really going to focus on here at Socially Awesome in the month of December and then even further into 2025. And I am bringing on the wizard of automation that not only has built a massive business in coaching and just helping other entrepreneurs, but really now even more so in automation. And we know as entrepreneurs, without that, we're burning out, we're exhausting, we're leaving money on the table. And I'm excited that he's not only going to show you today behind the scenes of what this could look like for you in your business, but also really show you where you're leaving money on the table and you have opportunity to grow as we move into 2025. So John is an author and entrepreneur who has studied success psychology for over 35 years, which is absolutely incredible because, I talk about this all the time. Sales is about psychology. And obviously he knows he's got the experience of psychology to mix in with business, which just brings awesome results for all of us. But he's a recognized leader in business with thousands of customers worldwide and best known for his book, Integrity is Everything, and his fun and energetic presentation. So I am so excited to see it firsthand today. He's passionate in music, motorcycling, fitness, and helping businesses bring in more customers in less time through his automations company, Brand Builder AI, which I personally have been using, and I'm excited to share with you today. So I'm going to bring him on the stage and let us know in the comments that you're here, that you're watching, where you're watching from, and let's get him here. John, thank you so much.
Woo! I'm feeling awesome now that I'm here with you. Sorry to hear your voice cracking up like that. That's
you know what? I am a perseverance Polly. I'm going to show up one way or another. So I'm really excited that you're here today to give me just a little bit of a break.
Oh, good. Well, you do show up, and that's something that I've noticed for as long as you've been working with us. And for those who don't know, Brand Builder AI is our main agency where we help local business owners as well as online business owners to essentially make more money in less time with less effort. That's the actual product, right? That's what everybody wants.
Right.
Or, we've got roofing companies, landscapers, dental billing, all kinds of interesting things. But the bottom line is, customers are good for business. So if we can help you get more customers, or in this case, at least your audience, get more customers, right? For whatever industry they're in, that's why we exist. So
I love it. And as John said, you guys, I've been with Brand Builder AI for the last several months. Really excited that, I'm confident to share it with you here today. So John, can we just dive in and show them? Because I could tell them all day how important automation is, but I don't think people really see what's the possibility and how it can connect for them.
Sure. Well, let's do this. I'll give you a couple of just general exhibits and ideas. And this, is for Elise, you can guide me. And I don't see if there's comments on here or what, but if people have, hey, can I do this? Or what about that? Because we could talk for hours and hours and hours, and I geek out on this stuff. So let me apologize in advance. I've been running databases and building systems for companies, including my own, since 1997. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm good at a couple of things in this whole world. Technology is one of them. I'm pretty much useless at everything else, but I know technology, right? So anyway, and then just feel free to interject. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, share your screen. And, I guess my first question for you would be, what exactly, or what is the goal of simplifying building this business and this brand using Brand Builder AI? Like, what is the whole purpose behind having a system like this?
Mm-hmm. So as you see right here on the homepage, assuming you're seeing it.
There we are.
So we automate businesses to get more traffic, leads, and sales.
Yeah.
And we do that by taking what people normally, here's a typical scenario. We're running our company. Maybe we've got one location. Maybe we're online. Maybe we're running multiple locations. But we've got software that does the websites, and we've got software for the calendars, and we've got shopping cart software, not to mention reviews, reputation management, sales pipelines. So we remember to call Bob on Tuesday. Calendar.
Yeah.
So we're duct taping together 15 different softwares. It's costing us $2,200 a month. And the stuff doesn't even like to talk to each other.
Yeah.
And we got to train new staff every time. So that's the problem, where it's almost like the people are working for the technology rather than the technology working for them.
Yeah.
So if we can eliminate, like, here's one login, one, all the bells and whistles, everything you need to do and more. Like in your case, in your use case, Elise, course delivery. I think you've got somewhere in the range of 10 million courses that you've published. Right. So you don't need Thinkific, you don't need Teachable, you don't need any outside platforms for that, right? Right. Your transactions, right? So we do, and maybe not in your use case, but like, here's the landscaping company. They need to give the proposal and then get the digital signature. So we're replacing, DocuSign and whatever.
Yeah.
And then send the invoice and do the, the installment plan because they need to pay over 6 months. So it does all of it, and it tracks every word that was ever said to that customer.
Yeah. Yes.
What channel they're on. So now I'm sending you an Instagram DM. Oh, now I'm on text. Now I'm calling you on the phone. Now it's an email. I know everything that's ever happened between me and Elise forever, recorded for eternity. So think about this, talking about sales psychology, right? You're talking to Bob. You haven't talked to Bob in 6 months, but immediately when the phone rings, it's Bob, and you see everything about Bob. Oh, Bob, how's your dog Spot? Oh yeah. Oh, you remember Spot? Of course I remember Spot. We had that conversation back on April 10th.
Right.
Of course I don't remember, but the database never forgets anything.
Yeah.
So it's telling me everything about his family and everything we've ever talked about. Now, how much easier is it to close that deal?
Yeah. Right. Well, and I know when I first got with Brand Builder AI, so I had ThriveCart for my sales, and I was hosting my courses in ThriveCart. It wasn't quite as beautiful, but it did the job for a little bit. But I also had to have an email provider. So I had ActiveCampaign. I was using Calendly to book my calls. I had to use Zapier to zap people from ActiveCampaign to ThriveCart. I was using a social media scheduling tool. I had all of these different softwares. And not only was I spending more, but it was like shock factor every other week. I'm like, damn, what is this payment for? Damn, what is this payment for? And like, I couldn't even keep up with my expenses as a business owner. And that is one thing that you have to have control of the money going in or coming in and going out if you want to have big results in your business. And so they didn't talk to each other. So I would go in and I would find that I was having to manually download CSVs, and it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare.
Right.
Yeah. So looking at this as a whole, because we've kind of already talked about like all of the possibilities, but one thing I really want to highlight today is you touched on it about knowing everything about your customer. So we know fortunes in the follow-up. We know that's where the money comes. And I think one mistake a lot of entrepreneurs make is when they're doing their email lists and things like that, they're not segmenting their audience. I know I've made that mistake for way too long.
Right.
I'm finally getting better at it. But what are your thoughts on the fact that, like you said, this system knows everything about your customer, every click they've had, every email they've opened? Do you think that's beneficial and can help with sales when targeting the right follow-up with your customers?
No doubt. And here's why, because it's a question of relevance to whoever's receiving the communication, right? So despite the fact that I run technology and design companies, it's not the technology that is originating the communication. People still buy from people. Okay.
Yeah.
You could see that, we have AI in our brand name, because we do have chat bots and we even have a voice bot that can answer the phone for you. In fact, here's Lisa. Lisa doesn't exist. She's a bot. So if you text our company and Lisa texts you back, hey, how you doing? This is Lisa from Brand Builder. That's her. She never eats. She never sleeps. She never gets paid.
Yeah.
She takes vacations, right? So, but But what does she say? Well, she says whatever we tell her to say, right? So we program all that stuff,
Right.
And so that lends itself to obviously your ideal customer, right? What some people call the avatar, the ICA, right? So we would converse differently if we were running like a travel business that people are booking
Right.
tickets to the rave concert versus accounting. Like two totally different worlds, right?
Yeah.
Right. So what we want to do when we segment and when we create excuse me, we create lists, and you can have unlimited lists. So with Brand Builder, charge for how many contacts. Go sign up the world, be my guest, have as many contacts as you want.
I love it.
But we could segment that into the different interests that they have and what they've been responsive to, rather than just pummeling people with promo after promo that they're not interested, right? So
yeah. Well, can we look at it? Can we see what's going on?
We can see that. Can I jump into your account?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's do that then. That'll be fun. So we've got some lists here, and I'm putting this in privacy mode, so we're blurring out. And some of you viewing this, you're in this database, right? So in Elisa's case, she's got 10,951 contacts in this database. Okay, and right now we're not filtering anything at all. Okay, we're just looking at all contacts. So Elise has 24-hour access to all the data at all times. All right, but then we can use these filters here, and we can sort by any combination of criteria in the database. So I just want to see people who are in that zip code, or who bought product 1 but not product 2 last week but not last month, right? And who have the Google, tag, the attribution because you ran the ad to them, or they opened the email within the last 2 days. I mean, we can get wild with this.
Yeah. And I've slowly, and well, I will say, I will pause for a second, because my audience, you guys know I'm not the best at asking for help. Okay. So I am very much like, let me make all the mistakes and figure it out on my own. And I've got to get better at that. That is a top trait of mine. But I will say, one thing I do love about Brand Builder is they have office hours. So because I was leading into me saying, I'm slowly figuring a lot of this out. And I'm going to be utilizing those office hours more, because I was digging in this weekend, prepping for 2025. And I'm going, oh my God, I could do this. Oh my God, I could do this. And I was like, why don't I know that? And that's my own fault. I'm not getting on office hours, right? But seriously, and I think that's one thing a lot of people struggle with, is getting things set up, right? Once they're set up and they're running like a well-oiled machine, this is incredible. But that was one thing that really drew me to you guys too, is the fact that there is support, because I know a large percentage of my audience has jumped into something and then they're canceling it within 30 days because they can't figure it out because there was no support behind it.
Right. It's interesting you bring that up, and that is the number one thing that we hear from our users, is that they love the fact that they can get on with a real human being at 1 o'clock, and they could just state what their problem is, and we'll go ahead and wrench on their stuff with them, all included, no extra charge, right? So for a software company, that's pretty much unheard of.
It is unheard of. It is unheard of, because, and I'll say, I've had where I tried to do this previously with other software companies I was using. They're responding to me at 3 a.m. because they're in another country. And I do have a large audience worldwide, but that's not beneficial to me, because then we're playing email tag for 3 weeks trying to figure it out. So let's show them a little bit behind the scenes of like what the courses look like. And I know a lot of you, and we'll have a ton of people that will watch this on replay. I mean, you know what the courses look like. You've been in my courses, but like back office wise, I can have as many courses as I want. Like John said, I have about 10 million. But
you're the most prolific course creator.
Well, a lot of it's like master classes, but I do usually, I might have sold the replays or given the replays, but I have a lot in the course area. Okay. So that's one section I know I have a lot of. Yeah, let's peek. And I know I talked to like 3 people just this week that are planning a course for 2025. So this is the time to get this now and set it up correctly from the beginning.
Okay. Very good. So here we can see some of the published or drafted, depending on, if they're activated or not.
Yeah.
The courses. And then what we can see, is there one like you'd want to like show under the hood, like how you built it? Or
yeah, you could show the Social Success Challenge. That's,
okay.
Yeah.
Social.
I don't want to show the top two. They're not live yet.
So show this one. Okay. So
yeah.
All right. Oh, and by the way, on the support note, not only do we run office hours like 10 times a week, but we also have 24-hour support right here.
Yes, and I use it.
So I don't care if it's 3 a.m. You need help, you get help, right? Yep. So 200 staff members behind this. They work in shifts, right? But if they can't fix you up on chat, they'll get you on Zoom and get you fixed.
Yeah.
All right.
And I use it religiously, you guys, religiously.
Good. So here is the framework of this particular course. It's called the Social Success Challenge. We can customize how it looks. We can add, of course, all the assets, all the material in here. And then if we were to preview this, and I'm just previewing it as an administrator, okay? But if you were the customer who just bought this course, right? This would be the course delivery area where we have the different modules and lessons with the downloadables, if there's like downloadable PDFs and what have you, links out to other sites, right? And of course, it's all branded. Right here, you see Elise Smith, and it's using her teal color. By the way, Elise, you are the only client we have who knows your hex code for teal. That is unbelievable. So we run a design company, and so all colors have numbers attached to them. It's called a hex code. And I was doing some stuff with Elise on like a calendar button or whatever. And I was like, oh, you use teal. Let me pull up my color picker, right? Where we can just pull the color right off the screen. She's like, I already know what it is. It's whatever you said, right?
169BA4. That's it. I know all 5 of my hex codes, by the way.
There you go. So,
but I love this setup. And one thing I recently saw, and this might not interest everyone, but I was really excited about it. I don't know if this was an update or if it was something that I just recently noticed, but you can, I think now, not just a video, but put a audio as well for in the course area. And I'm really excited to do that moving forward because I know like Cindy, I saw her on, I don't know if she's still here, but she's a truck driver. And so like, she really shouldn't be watching some of these videos probably while she's driving. But almost like a mini podcast series or something, like a audio series. Sure. I was pretty excited about that because it's just another alternative for my customers to be able to plug in, at their convenience.
That's right. We can also do quizzes and checkouts with certifications, right? So if you're presenting a certificate to the graduate, so all that's built in as well. And then any of these courses, whether they're free or paid, right? So is this a paid course? Like people can buy it?
It was a live challenge with replays. Yes.
Okay, very good. So let's say that it's $500 for the course, but you want to include it now when they buy the other thing, right? So they're going to get this course for free. You could simply grant them free access to any paid course with one click. It's spectacular.
Well, and that's something I'm glad you said that. So I'll give you guys an example to put this in terms for my business. Y'all know I'm the queen of examples and metaphors. But when someone joins my academy, my Social Success Academy, okay, it's my 6-month signature program. When they join it and they pay, the system knows, okay, they've paid, whether a payment plan or paying full, doesn't matter. They immediately get a welcome email from me with next steps. They get the contract. My academy does require a contract. They get tagged as someone in the academy, and that helps me know to make sure they get the replays emailed, all of that. They get added into the replay vault, which is a course. It's just where we house all the replays. It's separate from the curriculum. They get access to the curriculum. They get added to the community, which we haven't looked at just yet, but it's basically like Facebook group off Facebook, but 10 times better. They get added to 2 different workflows that remind them of, hey, today's live call. Hey, today is the club call, because they also get access to the club. Like, like 15 things happen in a matter of 1 minute. And I didn't have to do any of it. And it even creates me a task to ship out their swag box, because when students join my academy, they also get a swag box. Right. So everything happens simultaneously. And prior to this, I mean, I had a checklist. So when someone would join, I would go through this like manual checklist trying to do everything. And it would take me 2 hours to get a student onboarded just to get access to the system.
That's right.
So the amount of time, and time is money. So it leaves money on the table when you have to manually do everything, because I had to limit how many people I could bring in because it would take me hours to get them all onboarded. So this is the community section. Let's peek at this. Some of you were in there, some of you were not. But like the club, I have one for my challenge. That was a live challenge that we just looked at. The academy has one, and then my affiliate community as well.
Right. So if you're familiar with Facebook groups, or School has been a popular one of late. So this would replace both of those. Yeah. We just launched also, and if this is of interest to people, your own white labeled application that people can download right from the App Store. I think it's like $80 a month, and you can have all that, and you got your own app, right? So people don't even have to use an actual browser. And then with the communities, we also have gamification, where you could see who your most active users are, and they can get a little badge, and people love that stuff. Wow.
Yeah, they do. Right. So, well, and I love the communities, because prior I had a Facebook group for the academy, and just recently I decided, I was like, we're going to close the group and we're going to transition to this community, because what I was finding was a lot of my students weren't getting the notifications that were being put in Facebook. You cannot control Facebook. You can't control Instagram. You can't control any of that. So they weren't seeing what was going in the group regardless. And then 2, you need to spend less time on social media and more time on your business. And so I made the decision not long ago to take my students off of the Facebook group and start a community on here. I already had one for the club, already had one for the challenge, the affiliates. And it really has made it simpler for me to make sure they're getting the information that they need. Are you there? Did John freeze? John? All right. I think he might have froze. He'll be back. Technology, gotta love it. But a couple other things, and y'all feel free to ask questions. I wanted to share this with you today because I had a lot of conversations recently with people that are struggling with automation. And you're going to see me continue to talk about automation in December and January. And the truth is, right now, if you're feeling burnt out in your business, if you're feeling like it's chaotic, right? You can't find enough hours in the day. You can't find enough time to get everything done, and you're making 2 or 3 sales a month. Are you going to be able to make 100 sales, 500 sales, 5,000 sales? Oh, he's back. There he is.
Oh, sorry about that. So this is course, right? Here I am, and I lose in mid broadcast. So
it's Wi-Fi or something. Where are you located? Florida?
Tampa Bay, land of hurricanes.
Yeah. I was going to say the weather's been crazy. But yeah, go ahead. If you want to
at our beach, that's like
take a second. I was just telling them, we really need to think about this, you guys, because one thing that I know, like I said, was really just spending a lot of time in my business before was making the systems connect. But I was also, just like John said, wasting a lot of time going back through Facebook conversations and Instagram conversations, trying to find what that person talked about so that I could serve them best. And I love that everything is in one place. The conversations, what they've purchased, every tag, every click, so that I, one, can serve them better, make a professional recommendation and say, hey, this is the program for you, or this is the course for you. But 2, so that I don't look like a damn fool and say, hey, I think you should be in my club. And they're like, I'm already in the club, right? So this is where, if you are going to grow your business, this is that next step. This is how you get out of content creator mode and into CEO mode, because you have to start spending more time on your business and less time in it. And this is something I talk about all the time. You know, I spend less than an hour a day on social media, and I teach a lot and talk a lot about social media, but ultimately I spend more time working in my business doing things like this, because this is what's going to grow it. So feel free to ask any questions in the chat. John, did you want to pull that back up, or is Wi-Fi here or there?
Yeah, I think we're good. No, it was just a sudden stop, and then we're back. And so,
perfect.
Yeah,
we're back.
So a couple other things that I think may be relevant, because this, and I will say, no one uses all of it. Like this course and community features, like our landscaping clients, they've never touched, they never will touch this. Right. So they're more into, you know, making sure the guy gets there to plant the shrubberies and to do the estimate on the, you know, the hardscaping or whatever. So it's different use cases. And the beauty of what we've done here is that this software can do whatever dance you want it to dance. Right. So the only things we don't do is accounting. So like we interface with like QuickBooks, right, for your accounting stuff. And we don't do like exotic, like I'll use the landscaping example. So they've got this software that knows the price of every single plant, every brick. So they pay like $600 a month just to run that. And then we interface with it with an open API. And this way we could pull in the customer information and do the invoicing and whatever.
Yeah. And a couple other things I'll tell you guys that it does, that were things I've talked to or had conversations about recently. One, it does surveys, forms, quizzes, all of those things. That's actually something that I've got a laundry list of things I want to create, like quiz wise and things like that.
Can I just click around here and like look at stuff?
Go ahead.
Because I'm not in your account every day.
I know I have a couple of people I've talked to recently that wanted to do some sort of quiz to, like, I've got a student, Stacy, who is in the skincare business. Well, she wants to do a quiz for people to be able to fill out about their skin, so she can make the recommendation of the proper package or the proper, you know, kit they need. So she's able to actually do a quiz. And then in the automations, you could say, if they answered this, this, and this, send them this email or this DM.
Right.
And so all of that can be done in one system. Whereas I think one of the systems she was using for a quiz was like $40 a month just to do the damn quiz. And then she had to go back in and send them the email. So I was paying for Calendly. I was paying for this, all in one place.
Well, you've mentioned Calendly twice, and my wife, Shannon, who's my secret weapon, she's like our strategist. She says that Calendly is the money pit of death, because what happens when they don't show? What happens when, you know, where's the follow-up sequence? Where's the nurture and recapture sequence?
Right.
So here, and we haven't even looked at calendars yet. So that's a big can of worms, right? Lots of possibilities with calendars, not to mention rotating leads to your staff members, right? If you're running a sales staff or sort of an organization, right? Transferring the calls to the right recipient when the customer calls the business line. So we handle all that. But in surveys and quizzes, we have conditional logic built in. So here's logic. If they answer, so this is what's called a custom field, right? When you found the Social Success Club. Okay, so whatever their answer is here, we can then set logic based on what their answers are. So should we skip the slide? Should we disqualify them immediately? Should we, you know, whatever, right? So all that data is indexable.
Yeah.
We can use it to route the customer wherever we want them to go. Okay?
Yeah.
So, but you also mentioned, I don't know, did you mention different sites? Because surveys can appear embedded on sites, right? So
So it's got surveys, quizzes. There's a lot of different elements. I don't have any embedded on a site though.
Okay. Well, let's just take a look at because we're also a design company.
Yeah.
Right? So,
this is gold, you guys. This is gold.
So with Brand Builder, you get our full library of templates, and we could sort by different, you know, kinds of businesses, or what's one industry that we might want to look at with our crowd here today.
I have a lot of people who sell courses.
Okay, great.
And digital products.
Fair enough, right? So we can do something like, well, you know what? We got a holiday coming up, don't we?
Yeah.
We sure do. Oh, that's not a keyword for these templates. Let's look at other. What is other? I don't know. Okay, so let's preview one of these templates. And keep in mind, these are templates, so you're not staring at the blank screen with the flashing cursor of death. What do I do, right? So this is already laid out for you. So this one's coffee shop.
Yeah.
Right? So I guess an other would be, or we have a mock-up of a coffee shop website here, and we got Latin. And put your own pictures, put your own logo, right? But now you're not starting from scratch, right? You like this, you click continue, now it's yours, and you can have as many of them as you want.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and another thing too, because these are funnels, which a lot of you don't have an entire funnel at this point. We have like a checkout page. I know several people in my community that we've talked about they need a bigger funnel for upsells and downsells and cross sells and all of those things. So this would solve that problem for you guys. And there are, like he showed you, templates that give you all the pages. They have multiple pages. But I know one thing that would really intrigue a lot of my audience is the store section. Because several of them have digital products. So this is like your Shopify store, but it's in this system.
Right. It's Shopify simplified. We can integrate with Shopify. We do have a native integration for that. So if you're running like a major e-com operation, Shopify is pretty good. It's going to cost you too. It's not free.
Yeah.
But here, this is all built in. So if you're doing like your own store, like actually, at least my wife and my daughter and I are looking to start a fun little brand for like chicken accessories. We have chickens. I don't know if you knew that.
Shut up.
In addition to dogs, we have chickens. Right. And so people like chicken people, that's a thing. Like
that's a thing.
Yeah, chicken people, that's a real thing. And so we could do the t-shirts, and you can see some of the stuff that people buy like on Amazon. It's like, I poop breakfast. What's your superpower, right? So you can do all that, it's impulse buy crap. But I'm not going to buy a Shopify account to run that. It's a fun little side deal.
Right.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's all built in. So we've got unlimited websites, unlimited funnels, stores. We do have a whole pre-built webinar platform. That's new. We just released that.
I recently set one up for a summit that I was asked to speak at.
There you go. We have blogs built in, the client portal where Elise delivers her course material. Let me just show you one example of a site where we're doing a blog. So this is a client. So roofing company, very different than what many of you are doing, okay? But we actually increased their Google traffic by 300% in the last 30 days. It was pretty awesome. And how we did that was with article marketing. So this is all native to Brand Builder AI. So here's the articles. We take those, we repurpose them to their social media accounts.
Right.
Facebook, Instagram, and their Google business profile, right? So we're doing all the reputation management with their, let me show you this. So this may be, down a rabbit hole for some of you, but so 5-star roofing. Let's take a look. Roofing and construction. Okay, so here it is. Okay, and you can see here that we've got all this content from the owner. Okay, including their reviews and reputation. Oh, there's the articles.
Article.
Right. So this is going on to Facebook, Instagram, their Google business profile. But wait, there's more. Here's the reviews. Hector enjoyed the service. That's very nice. And here's the response from the owner. Guess who the owner is? The owner's a bot. So, right. So Brand Builder AI, the bots go in and they read Hector's comments, and they feed back to him and Google the keywords. Oh, glad you liked it, Hector. We're glad to hear you had a positive experience with Randy, right? So the bot's actually reading and giving back to Google, right? So this is solid gold. Like we have customers.
This helps your traffic and your ranking. And I mean, I did Google and reputation management for 180 locations when I was in corporate, and this would have been a gold mine.
Right. So that's just one aspect. And even as a coach consultant, right, people still go to Google to look, credibility and trust and all this, look at the reviews, right? So in fact, I heard, was it Perry Marshall was a great Google AdWords expert back in those days, and he said, people go to Google to make decisions. People go to Facebook to avoid making decisions. So it's kind of in cheek. He said that, but
no, that's accurate. That is accurate.
Okay.
Can we look at the social media planner really quick?
Let's do that.
And then I want to tell those that are still here or those that watch the replay a little bit about how they can connect with this, because you guys, we could be all for 4 hours plus to show you everything. If you have a question specifically for John while you're live about can it do this or can it do that, drop it. Mm-hmm. If not, we do have something special for you in store.
Yeah. We got a irresistible offer for your.
Yes.
So here we can see all of Elise's social media accounts, including the Google business profile. That's okay. And so this one needs to reconnect. So TikTok expired. So, Meta and TikTok.
It emailed me and it does notify you. I just haven't reconnected.
There you go. But we connect with all these platforms, Pinterest, YouTube, right? And so from that, we can do social posts syndicated to multiple platforms, and we could do them on a calendar. So we can, plan them out in advance. So here you can see some of Elise's content, right? And again, you're very prolific, Elise, and we pay people like staff members to do this stuff. I'm not going to post to social media, and I'm just not, right. But we have staff members who do. So that, like I showed you that roofing company, they handle all that for the client, right? For the roofer or whoever. They're banging nails on roofs. They're not playing with this. So that's all built in. So is the email templates. Right. So now that's your list. Well, what are we sending to them? Well, just like I showed you with the funnels and website templates, here's the email templates. And now I think we will have a hit with holidays. Yeah, here we go. Holidays. Thank you.
Yes.
So here's the Black Friday sale, the Christmas thing, the whatever, right? And you just go ahead and you say, oh, I want that template for my own. Great. Now it's yours. Have as many of them as you want, right?
I love it. I love it. And one thing, John, I do want to kind of touch on is, I have used a lot of softwares, whether it was, in corporate, in the first couple of years of my business. And a lot of times these softwares, they're just not staying up to date. But you guys released 15 updates last month, which was amazing because they were all things we were requesting. Yeah. I know one of my very specific requests were to be able to pre-schedule posts in my communities. Just another reminder, hey, we're going live. Our call is today at this time, just as reminders. And it came. There were so many things. So the fact that the platform is listening to its users and Brand Builder AI is listening and you guys are solving those problems, I love it, because I spent a lot of money with companies that were like, nope, we just can't do that. And it was over. So that support is next level.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And it's, I'd love to tell you that I have a cape and mask and that I'm a superhero, but the truth is we have 250 full-time developers working on this software.
Yeah, that's insane. So John, will you tell them a little bit about how they can connect with you if they have questions or what that looks like?
Sure.
And a little bit about this special offer.
Okay. So a little bit of self-promotion here. We do have, at least I think you've been with us for a year now. Is that right?
Probably.
So something in that range. So we do have something we want to do for Friends of Elise. No matter what industry you're in, if you're like an astronaut or something and you're not sure if this would work for you, then you can book a session and we can demo it out based on your use case. Yeah. For the most part, I don't know how to sell astronaut stuff. Okay. But I think for the most part, we can help you bring in more traffic and customers. So what we're doing, so Brand Builder AI, if you go to brandbuilderai.com, in fact, Elise has a special link for you. Elise, do you have that handy? You can give that.
I do. Okay, I can drop it in the chat, and I also have an automation that is set up to DM it to people.
Very nice, very nice. So I'm just going to jump right down to pricing. Here we go. So we've got 3 different tiers of membership. The basic, almost nobody buys that. That's more like a startup company, or maybe if somebody's doing multi-level marketing, we've got a monthly and an annual plan on that. Pretty much everybody, if they do buy that, they immediately upgrade to premium, because with premium, you get everything we just showed you, the entire platform, and stuff that we could be here for hours showing you. Yeah. Again, nobody uses it all, right? The course area, maybe for you, not for the landscaping guy, right? So we do all the contracts. We haven't even shown you pipelines. Imagine never dropping a customer, because you always know where they're at in each stage of the sales process.
We didn't show pipelines.
It's spectacular. There's software for like $300 a month that just does that, right? The reputation management with the bots, everything I just showed you, that's all included here. Plus, we put $50 a month on your account towards your email and phone systems, and we run all the calls and the texting and all that. So that's server space. I pay for that too. It's just server space. Plus we have the office hours. Anyway, all of this $297 a month. Enterprise plan would be if you're running like multiple occasions, like the roofing company, right? So you probably don't need that. Although if you do, now we're looking at custom services, $497 a month and up. Yeah. All right. But this is where almost everybody ends up, is the premium plan. And that's what Elise uses and all that. Now, in addition to that, we run 2 design companies. Our main one is Brand Builder Design. So we do the websites, like that roofing thing I just showed you. That's a Brand Builder Design project, okay? And that was like a $6,000 website build. But what we're looking to do, just for Elise, and I haven't even published this yet. We're going to be limiting this to 10 clients. I did mention it to one client at one of our other design companies that we own. And I said, hey, we could put in the automations or whatever, and we can migrate your site over into our servers. It'll be rocket ship fast. We'll fix all the broken forms, right? All of it for the premium plan. Just buy the year premium, which you get 2 months free anyway on that, right? So it's basically like 2 months free. But we'll also do the site migration and setup for you.
Nice.
On the house.
Nice. Right? That's it.
Right.
Can you tell them how much of a savings that is in dollars?
Yeah. So a setup we can do, so there's a few different tiers of that, but like a typical site migration up to 5 pages would be about $1,000. Okay. And then to set up the stuff, to make sure the emails and the phone numbers are running, and to port the numbers over if they have to and all that, that ranges from $500 to $6,000, depending on what's needed. Okay.
Incredible savings. Because I will say, you guys, like that was, and I should have took you up on it, because when I connected with John last October, I talked to him a little bit about migration. And again, I told you guys, I am like, I just want to do it myself. And that is me, my thing. I've had to learn to kind of push, like give it to people that know what they're doing better than I do. And I wish I would have took you up on that, because it took me a while to migrate everything on my own and between me and my VAs. So this alone is the lifesaver, the headache saver that you want, right? And need, because let people that know, the experts do it, and that's what you have to do in your business. You have to learn how to live in your zone of genius.
Right. Well, I'm just pulling up a couple of case studies real quick.
Let's talk about that.
Well, just because, like in this case, this is MDen Consulting. They have like a $38,000 dental consulting to help the new dentist get the office set up and all that. It's tens of thousands of dollars, right? And they are the best at doing that. They're not the best at doing websites, right? They're not the best at setting up automations and documents and contracting and all this kind of stuff. So that would be like one example of, leverage the experts. I can't be all things to all people. My goodness, right? In fact, when it comes to like design itself, I'm not one of the designers. I'll tell you right now. In fact, there's a joke in our office that if John likes it, it probably sucks, because every logo I've ever designed looks like a heavy metal band every single time.
Of course it does.
Of course it does, right? Because that's my background. So I'm a biker, metalhead, and all that. So I don't get an opinion on this, right? But when it comes to like just getting this stuff running, all the features, everything. Take 2 months free. We'll credit your account $50 a month, which, by the way, most of our clients don't exceed. We do have heavy senders who are doing like 300,000 emails a month. It's a couple $100 just for that. I'm one of those customers, by the way. I pay a couple $100 just for email service space and texting and all this. Okay, but the whole package nothing else to buy, $29.97, and we'll migrate your site up to 5 pages. In fact, we just pulled in a job. I don't know if I'll show you the actual client, but he's got like a 5-page website. It sucks. The forms are broken. We're going to move it over. We're going to do the whole thing. He's like, $3,000 for all that? Here, where do I pay? Done.
Yeah. So, right. Well, and I like you said, I mean, people pay $3,000 just for the website alone. With this, you get the whole system for a year plus and I want you to sit down if you're watching this, whether it be live or on the replay, and you're like, oh, I don't know, you're having that moment. One, I want you to write down every software you currently have, including your domain hoster, all of that, because everything, like I was paying just to host my website somewhere else. And now my website's hosted here, which is amazing because I'm able to connect the forms. I'm able to connect the quizzes and the pop, everything's connected. So I'm just so excited. What else? Is there anything else we could share? Is there any last thoughts, John, that you feel, would really help someone decide if they're on the fence?
Well, yeah, and this isn't a hard close. I think it's just stating the obvious, is that 2025 is coming. If you're seeing this live or, very recently, by the way, I can only run this to Black Friday, this special deal. So this is like, see you next year. But thinking of next year, do you have a goal? And if so, is what you're doing now greasing the tracks, so to speak, so you can most easily reach that goal and stay within your zone of genius, right? So like those case studies I just mentioned, they are experts at dental billing or roofing or whatever they do. They're not experts at this. I know that the way to stay small and to scale very slowly is try to do everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So think of not just where you are, but where you want to go. And if you're basing your decisions on that, what I like to call a guaranteed future outcome, a goal, right? A destination. Yeah. This is my purpose. This is why I'm even showing up. Like, why are we doing any of this, right? Well, for that. Well, then, okay, then stack the deck in your favor. Anything you've got to do to most readily ensure that that is the outcome that you get without destroying yourself in the process. Because I'll tell you, I'm not getting younger. I don't know about you. At least you've been very young. I think I've got a few years on you. But I'm fully great.
I'm not getting younger. I'm not getting younger, that's for sure. And I talk all the time about, the time freedom in our businesses and all the things that people think they get started for. And then when they really get into entrepreneurship, they're like, there's anything but freedom, right? This is how you get your freedom back. If you are currently the system and the only system for your business, you are going to burn out before you reach your goal. You have to put systems in place. And the beauty of this is that system alone can replace about 10 employees. And not that I want to put people out of a job, but ultimately let systems work for you. So John, we do have a couple questions if you have a second.
Oh, well, I'd love to. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
So Stephen asked, he said, I missed the beginning. Does this cover client onboarding and workflow? Which we did cover. Stephen actually owns a design business. He's a graphic designer here locally to me. And this was something he and I chatted about recently was, we have a new customer, bringing them in. I know he has a lot of different design packages. Some are on retainer, some might be a one-off job, one-off project. So could you just, from as a design owner, what are some things that Stephen could do in his business with this? I mean, ultimately it does cover onboarding and workflow.
Sure. So that's a great question. Stephen, was it Steve or Stephen?
Yeah, Stephen, sorry.
Stephen. Okay. So Stephen, we have other people that we collaborate with, like other design houses and things like that, who they don't want to run a software agency. They don't want to do customer support. They don't want to have every answer for this kind of a thing. So what we do is we can hook you up with an affiliate account where anyone you route into our software, you can even build their websites right into our software, use our templates, all of it, right? But then you get paid every month for as long as they're an active member. Right. And I can tell you, we have no churn. Like, nobody's leaving. Like, once they taste Brand Builder, they're like, how did I ever live without this? I'm never.
Right.
Right.
And as far as his onboarding and his workflows, so Stephen, 100%. When you get a new customer, there's, we set up the onboarding so they get tagged as this every fifth. I know, just Stephen, you personally, like on the 15th of the month, we want to email them and remind them, hey, you have X amount of hours left in your retainer. If it's use it or lose it, like all of that will be completely automated. And then the pipelines, which we didn't walk through today, but I'm happy to share that with you, or I'm sure John would demo it with you, Stephen. But the pipeline section would be really valuable to you guys as well, because we know, like, okay, the customer said we want this edit done on our flyers or our logo. And then you have a couple, I know Stephen has a couple designers that he has that work with him. So, okay, it's been, assigned to this designer. And then now it's been sent to the customer for review. So it would keep moving in the pipeline. And that way you can track almost like project management, but then you can have automation and triggers based on where it's in the pipeline. So we know, okay, you sent it to someone to make an edit or send it to the customer review. When the customer emails back in and reply, we move it down the pipeline. So Stephen, I 1,000% think that this could solve a lot of the headache that you might be having for onboarding workflow.
And Stephen, in your case, so if you have a specific, flow of, I need these stages of a pipeline and I need that to be hooked up to an automation to send out the emails and all this. So again, we've got like 20 different softwares talking to each other inside the platform. You could set that up. It's very user serviceable, right? So just like you might design a website for the client, they don't want to touch it, but you wrench on it yourself. You can also do in your own account, you can do all those automations and software. Yeah. And Elise is a great example of that. Alternatively, and this is very often, Elise, is that we have the dental billing guy who knows what he needs it to do. He's not going to set it up. So, I mean, that could be a $2,000, $5,000 contract, depending on what's needed. And then we have our programmers go in and do that. They provide the material. Here's what the email should say. I'm not writing their emails for them. I suppose we could. We got AI bots that can write emails. Right. So give me the material and give me 4 weeks. And here's the whole damn system built out, exactly what you need. Give me $5,000. We're done. Right. So that's very common as well. Yeah.
Yes. So Stephen, like I said, connect with me. I know you and I had talked about it. We had a call not long ago. And if you have any questions, let me know. But I definitely think this would help, streamline, especially for those customers that are on monthly retainer or your subscription services to keep track of where they are in the process and all of those things.
Oh, I see Stephen's name. You got some technology going here. Look at this. Stephen.
Yes.
I haven't been on this platform. We use
So Cindy asked if it's $3,000 a year. Yes. So that's the annual plan, Cindy. That's everything's included. And then of course, John gift of setting everything up and migrating your website up to 5 pages. So that is the annual. When you purchase the annual price, that would cover it.
And we will do, if people need additional services like Google Business Profile Optimization, review engine setups, pipelines, what we just talked about. Then I'll give the friends and family deal on that. But the site migration wouldn't be like a redesign. A redesign would be artists and all that. But the technicals of it, migrating everything over, getting it into our servers, which at that point, was it Cindy? You're done with any outside servers or like even shopping cart software, like Elise was talking about. Here's all these different software. You don't need any of them anymore. Calendars, it's all built in. Okay. But the main thing is to get the site running good and fast and have the forms working and the surveys and whatever else that you've already got. To migrate all those in typically takes a week, maybe 2, depending. And then and also I do have to limit this, like for real. I can't have 10 million people buy this. For one, it's a stupid deal. Number two, I have people that I can't make more than 24 hours occur in a day, right? So we want to deliver on this rapidly. So.
Right. So we are setting a timeline on this, you guys. Like you said, this is done Black Friday. And I know we have a lot of people that catch this on the replay. So if you are interested, this is a somewhat time-sensitive offer, okay? Or it is a time-sensitive offer. 2 more quick questions. So we had Cindy also asked, can this replace repurpose.io? So yes and no, Cindy. So, or John, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the things I personally use repurpose.io for is it does take all of my content and backs it up on my Google Drive. Is Brand Builder able to do that?
We have redundancy with our website servers. So we're running everything on Google Cloud servers with security and backups and all that. Is that what you're talking about? Or is it actually?
So like repurpose.io, if I posted a TikTok today, if I went on TikTok, because I do have a large TikTok presence. If I posted on TikTok, repurpose.io takes my TikTok and it removes the TikTok watermark so that it's, okay to put on other platforms, and it puts it in a Google Drive folder. Now, the reason I say yes and no, Cindy, is because Brand Builder AI, from what I've seen, does have the ability to repurpose content. Obviously, you can post it one time, put it everywhere, just like John showed you. It also has the ability for you to be able to say, okay, this was posted November 30th, duplicate and schedule it for March 30th. That's an opportunity, but I have not seen where I can directly connect my Google Drive for it to take any content I put on that social planner and back it up.
I'm going to say not for that specific use.
Yeah.
Although I have a programmer who was just talking to me about a similar kind of a thing, where it's drive videos, it's videos specifically.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little vague on that. I know we do natively interface with, all the different social platforms.
Yeah.
But having that go in a Google Drive. The other thing is files, like a CSV file, where like if you have a social planner like person who gives you like, here's your posts for the month, right? We could just take that CSV file, shove it into the planner, it sucks all the juice out of it and launches.
Yeah.
Right. So
yes.
Yeah, so that's sort of a thing. But as far as like outside platforms that we use, right? So I'm not just the customer, I'm also the class president. We have Canva. We have all kinds of Adobe stuff. That's for the pro, editing people. I don't touch it. We have like project management software with Asana for specific, project templates. And we have international staff, right? So they're all hitting that. And then I think the only other thing would be like, accounting, QuickBooks.
Yeah. This is that, Cindy, this is just one thing I think that, because I do have Repurpose.io. So it's like, I think I pay $25 a month for it, you guys, and it just backs up all of my content. So I do, that's like the only other thing that Brand Builder might not have, but Repurpose.io specializes in that, I believe, you guys. So it does, like, it takes it off the platform versus the social planner with Brand Builder AI. You're putting it on the platform and spreading it everywhere. So it's a little different. But this does have the ability, Cindy, to be able to put something out. Like I could put a TikTok in Brand Builder AI and blast it everywhere. So yes.
And it can do it on a recurring basis. We can do like recurring posts. Like also I showed you those review posts like on the roofing company Google business profile. So we took the review, we responded to it with AI, then we did a post out of it. We made a piece of content. We pushed that out to all the socials, right? So we're hitting them again and again. So we're repurposing, in this case, a review, which as far as I'm concerned, that's the best stuff you got.
That is the best. That is the best. And that is, I just finally got my business page and all that complete and set up about a month or so ago. Had a little trouble because I didn't want my address on Google. So, Google was like, are you legit? It was a whole thing, but we got it set up and I'm very excited about that because like you said, people go to Google to make decisions.
Right.
And so I've actually set up now, really cool, you guys. How many of you have had customers that forgot to ask for the testimonial or never asked for the testimonial? I've got that automated now. So if you buy something from me, you're going to get automation not long after asking you to give us a review. So that's the gold. Last question that we had, let's see. What antivirus for business do you like? That's a John question.
So if you're talking about web stuff, like preventing, Trojan horse and DDoS attacks and things like that, we run everything through Cloudflare.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, if you were to set up like a Cloudflare account with full, security services and all that, it's about $250 a month. So we're running, cloud servers that run through all that security. Not that Google can't be hacked. They just the other day, Elise, you were like, we got people that can't get the course material, right? Well, Google got hacked, right? So that stuff happens.
That was a Google thing, yeah.
12 hours and now we're back to normal, right? So So you're already getting built in all that security. Now, if you're talking about like an antivirus or anti-malware, like for your actual device, it depends. I think PCs, people like, Norton or McAfee. I'm on a Mac, so we don't get viruses, but there could still be like malware that I don't use any. And
yeah. Well, and that is one thing, and I said it a little earlier as we kind of wrap up, you guys, is that I have learned after 2.5 years in business, let the experts do it. So when John said this is safe and this is the best, let's get Cloudflare for you or Fair for you, I was like, sign it up, like do it. I don't want to do it. So this is where you have to, you have to trust that this is the big step for your business, is really getting everything connected. So you stop leaving money on the table, you stop missing customers, you stop missing the follow-up and start getting those results that you want. So I want to drive this home and thank you so much for you spending time with us today. I know you're busy. You run multiple big companies. And I just appreciate you spending time with us, because Brand Builder has been a gift to me in my business. And I really think I've only scratched the surface of what it can do. I've really started digging into, more follow-up and more targeting and more pipelines and setting these things up. And I'm fired up and excited about what 2025 looks like when my entire business can be automated. So,
right. And there's always more. So like you see,
and there'll be updates. By the time I figure it out, there's gonna be a new update.
Yeah. And again, nobody uses all of it. Okay. But just based on your use case, you're already doing really well, Elise. And so I'm happy to, serve your clients as well. This is all we do. So like, my roofing, contractors aren't asking me for advice on roofing shingles. Like, I don't know a damn thing, but when they want to market stuff and they want more customers, like whatever John says, do that.
Yes.
So
yes, that's it. So I just want to encourage you guys, if you are ready to automate, you're ready to get the chaos of the business all in one place, really get rid of all of those tech headaches, and take advantage of John's special offer, that you drop Brand Builder in the comments. If you're watching this on replay, again, we'll have that DM automation trigger set up. And then if you have questions, just respond to that message and I'll get back to you. John has really made a generous offer here. It's very limited. So now is not the time to sit on your hands and say, I'll do it next year or I'll do it later, because it won't be there later. And I can promise you this, you're not going to get any other company that's willing to do the work for you and migrate things over for free 99. Okay. It doesn't happen. It doesn't exist. And this is definitely a generous offer. So thank you for spending time with us, John. I'm just really grateful and excited to see what's next.
Right.
And until next time, guys, make it simple, make it social, make it awesome. Bye, y'all.